Welcome back to this explainer. All right, let's jump right in, because today we are looking at a guy who is honestly one of the most fascinating minds to ever exist. Picture this. It's 1933. We're at the Hotel New Yorker in New York City. Every single night, a man steps out of his room and performs these incredibly bizarre rituals. He absolutely refuses to use the elevator. Instead, he walks directly to the stairs. But before he even steps foot in the dining room, he circles it exactly 3 times. I mean, not 2, not 4, exactly 3.
And, the quirks didn't stop there. This man refused to stay in any hotel room whose number wasn't perfectly divisible by 3, 6, or 9. If a room didn't fit that strict mathematical rule, he simply wouldn't sleep in it. So, was this man crazy? Well, some people at the time certainly thought so. But this wasn't just anyone. This was Nikola Tesla, the brilliant inventor who gave the world the alternating current, or AC electricity, which is probably powering the exact screen you're looking at right now. He's the pioneer who basically laid the groundwork for radio, X-rays, and remote controls.
Even at the dinner table, this routine was just unbreakable. Before eating a single bite of food, he would meticulously clean his plate with exactly 18 napkins. Not one more, not one less. 18. And this creates a really massive knowledge gap for us to explore today. Why in the world did one of the most groundbreaking geniuses in human history act this way? What did he see in these numbers that the rest of the world just completely missed?
Part 1. The Misunderstood Genius. To really understand this obsession, we have to look at how his remarkable mind actually worked. Tesla had a photographic memory that was so powerful, he could meticulously build, run, and test 3-dimensional machines entirely in his head. He'd literally fix mechanical flaws before ever building a physical prototype. This brilliant mind eventually brought him to New York in 1884 to work with Thomas Edison, which led to a legendary clash. Tesla shared his idea for AC current, but Edison, who was heavily invested in his own DC system, totally dismissed it. Edison did, however, offer Tesla a $50,000 bonus to improve his DC system, so Tesla spent a whole year revolutionizing it. But when he finally asked for his promised bonus, Edison basically laughed it off, calling it a mere American joke. Heartbroken, but definitely undeterred, Tesla quit, founded his own company, and launched the AC current that would ultimately conquer and power the entire globe.
Part 2. The Dream of Free Energy. You see, despite all his fame and success, Tesla was searching for something much, much bigger. In 1901, he had this grand vision for the Wardenclyffe Tower in New York. Standing 57 meters tall with another 36 meters deep underground, this wasn't just some radio tower. Tesla believed the Earth itself was a giant battery, a living system. His dream was to use the tower to turn the Earth into a conductor, transmitting wireless, completely free electricity to every single corner of the globe. Every home, every person, without a single wire. But that dream hit a massive roadblock. J.P. Morgan, America's biggest banker and the project's financier, asked a very practical business question. If the electricity is free, where will the meters go? How do we make money? When Morgan realized there was literally no way to profit from free wireless energy, he pulled the funding. The project went bankrupt, and the tower was dynamited in 1917. When Tesla died decades later, the FBI immediately seized his notebooks and classified them for 70 years. Why? Because of what was hidden inside them.
Part 3. The Mystery of 369.
Decades later, when those seized notebooks were finally declassified, they revealed that Tesla was hunting for infinite energy. He believed the exact frequencies to unlock it were hidden within 3 specific numbers: 3, 6, and 9. Let's look at this doubling sequence. If you start with 1 and double it, you get 2, then 4, then 8, then 16. Now stay with me here. Add the digits of 16 together, 1 plus 6, and you get 7. Double 16 to get 32. 3 plus 2 is 5. See the pattern? 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. It repeats to infinity. But notice what is glaringly absent from this infinite pattern of our 3D world? The numbers 3, 6, and 9, they sit completely outside this dimension. So what happens when you isolate them? Well, double 3, you get 6. Double 6, you get 12. And 1 plus 2 is 3. Double 12, you get 24, and 2 plus 4 is 6. So 3 and 6 create an entirely separate layer, just oscillating back and forth. 3, 6, 3, 6. But what about 9? Okay, this is where it gets really wild. Double 9, you get 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. Double it to 36. 3 plus 6 is 9. 9 always results in itself.
Tesla observed that while 3 and 6 govern a separate layer, 9 is the master controller. It's the energy that connects everything, yet never actually changes itself. And 9 is deeply embedded in our physical reality. Think about a circle. It's 360 degrees. 3 plus 6 plus 0 is 9. A triangle is 180 degrees, which also equals 9. A square, 360 degrees, equals 9. A pentagon, 540 degrees, equals 9. This goes on to infinity. It's omnipresent. Yet mathematically, 9 behaves exactly like a 0. For example, if you take the number 492, its digits sum up to 15, which reduces down to 6. If you completely remove the 9, leaving just 402, the sum is still 6. The 9 is everywhere, but it leaves absolutely no trace when removed. Part 4. Science Meets Eastern Philosophy. Now, this wasn't just a neat math trick for Tesla. He realized this hidden code of numbers aligned perfectly with ancient texts that were attempting to explain the exact same universe. If we look at his timeline, we know he met Edison in 1884, and he built his tower in 1901. But right in between his two biggest projects is a pivotal, highly documented meeting in New York in 1896. Tesla attended a lecture by Swami Vivekananda, who was one of India's most famous Vedic scholars, and this meeting would forever alter how Tesla articulated his scientific discoveries. Vivekananda explained that the universe is made of two fundamental components, prana, which is energy, and akasha, which is space. He taught that all matter is actually just condensed energy. When Tesla heard this, he was absolutely stunned. These Vedic concepts of condensed energy perfectly matched the mathematical patterns he was proving in his lab. In fact, they matched so well that Tesla confidently began using these exact Sanskrit terms, prana and akasha, in his own scientific notebooks to describe his findings. It's also a really fascinating cultural synthesis. The sources highlight a striking parallel here to the Islamic concept of ruh, or the soul and spirit, from the Quran. In this broader context, both the Vedic prana and the Islamic ruh are framed as recognizing a supreme, higher source of energy that animates and connects everything. Tesla's mathematical quest was, in a lot of ways, mapping out the exact same universal energy that these ancient philosophies had been describing for centuries. Part 5. Energy, Frequency, and Vibration. Now, before we reach our conclusion, we really need to address a massive internet myth. You have almost certainly seen this quote floating around social media, usually pasted over a moody black and white photo of Tesla. If you knew the magnificence of 3, 6, and 9, you would have a key to the universe. I need to clear the air right now. This is a fake quote. Researchers have scoured his 300-plus patent records, his letters, his interviews, and his verified speeches. There is zero documented proof he ever said those exact words. But don't worry, because what he actually said is even more profound. Here is his actual verified quote, found in his documented writings. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Tesla firmly concluded that these three elements act as the true underlying pattern connecting everything in the cosmos. Energy, frequency, and vibration operate in a perfect pattern, a pattern he fully believed was mathematically represented by the unique behavior of the numbers 3, 6, and 9. Tesla dedicated his entire life to unlocking this pattern for humanity, but his story ultimately ends on a pretty tragic note. On January 7, 1943, Nikola Tesla died alone, penniless and battling illness. And where did he die? In the Hotel New Yorker, in room 3327, a room he specifically chose himself. And if you've been following along, you know exactly why. 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 7 equals 15, and 1 plus 5 equals 6. He took his very last breath surrounded by the numbers he spent his entire life decoding. His tower was blown up, his funding was stopped, and his notes were locked away in a vault for 70 years. Yet, the patterns of 3, 6, and 9 remain all around us, in our geometry, in cellular division, literally everywhere. So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Were these numbers just the tragic, personal obsession of an overworked genius? Or did Nikola Tesla actually stumble upon the hidden mathematical source code of the universe? Think about that the next time you see a circle. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. I'll see you next time.